Hello and welcome back, everybody, to F123 My Team Career Mode. This is episode number 8 of season 2 as we are ready to take on the sprint weekend at the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. If you guys haven't watched any of the previous episodes or the previous season, then I would recommend watching those episodes before continuing with this one. And if you enjoyed those videos, then please do like and subscribe, as we are getting very close to 100 subscribers, and I would really appreciate reaching this milestone as soon as we reach that milestone. I don't know, I have no control over that, but anyway, sprint weekend. Let me explain the rules of the game once again. Sprint weekend meaning qualifying sets the grid for the sprint, and then the sprint race sets the grid for the Sunday race. I hope that makes good sense. As we are getting ready to start our qualifying lap on this anti-clockwise circuit. That's what anti-clockwise is, right? Like, yeah, clockwise is like top and then right, then down, then left, and then up. Anti-clockwise is top, left, down, right, and then back up. If you understand, because I literally just did that without a face cam. I literally explained it in the air while I was saying it. So you may understand what I just said there. You may not. Skill issue. But anyway, I'm good at anti-clockwise circuits. I've noticed that while I was recording a certain episode on F124, I won't tell you which one. I'll make you wait for said episode, as we are now rounding the final corner to set a very good lap. 1 minute 9 seconds. Yes, 1 minute 9 seconds and 8 tenths. So 198 is going to be our only run for Q1, as we are safely through, as well as our teammate who also makes it through into Q2, which is very nice to see, as always. And now Q2. On the minute, you can see that we are sandwiching a McLaren, but we're giving good space. Tsunoda might actually get a tow down the straights, as he's gonna get a very nice tow. Like, look at that, perfect distance. I'm probably towing the McLaren, if I'm being honest, but it doesn't matter. We are on used sets, just to note that we are on used sets for this run, since we did only go on one run in Q1, and we are 9 tenths quicker by the time we end our second sector compared to Guan Yu Zhou, and we get a even faster lap time to what we had in Q1. But either way, we're gonna go again, even though we are at the top of the time charts, because why not? I feel like I can improve. That was a used set. So if I can go even faster, I might as well secure my spot in Q3 as the top driver in Q2, because I felt like it. But yeah, already a 10th down because we messed up the Senna S's, and we are 10th, pretty much a 10th down on our time. But by the time we reach sector 2, end of sector 2, apologies, and starting the final sector all the way to the line flat out, we are nearly 3 tenths up on our previous time, 2.5 tenths to be exact, and we set a very decent lap time that puts us at the top of the time charts once again, with a lap time of 1 minute 9.3. It's safe to say that we might actually get pole position here, but Yuki Tsunoda, our teammate, is unfortunately out of qualifying. So yeah, that's a bit disappointing. But then again, we are not really in the best car. I'm pretty much out driving this car. I'm driving it to its absolute limit and just abusing every exploit on track that I know of. I'm not really doing that. I'm just driving the fastest that I can. And again, I just happen to be very good at driving on anti-clockwise circuits again. And yes, this circuit is anti-clockwise, meaning I have 10% extra power boost, and we go to the top, actually the front row, only half a tenth, less than half a tenth slower than Lewis Hamilton, who is currently on provisional pole for the sprint race. And we are going to be the last car on the grid to start our lap, as we have an Aston who's currently going to be the first driver to cross the line and set a lap time. But yeah, here we go, beginning of our final run in Q3 as we mess up a little bit exiting the center S's, and we just only have about 5 1,000s. How does that even make sense? 5 milliseconds. I'm just gonna do it the way I understand it. Anyway, purple first sector as we are a 10th up on Lewis Hamilton, going around turn 5. I mean, that's not turn 5, that's turn 6. And now down to the technical middle sector of this track. Very technical, as you need every bit of downforce you can get, but because of the slow speed there's not much downforce that you can get from the car. But anyway, we're gonna finish sector 2 4 tenths quicker than Hamilton. We are basically on pole position at this point, and we're gonna now end the lap going flat to the line to get a 109.1, I believe that time was, and that gives us pole position.
And with qualifying complete, let's review our top 3 today. The owner driver, Hamilton and George Russell. Goodbye for now then, but really we're just getting started. Make sure to join us again for Lights Out tomorrow. Forget pit stops, forget fuel management. It's pedal to the metal all the way here as we get ready for today's sprint. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's sprint. It's the owner driver then in pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Russell, Bottas, Norris, Fernando Alonso, Oscar Piastri, Sainz, Leclerc, Ocon, Gasly, Stroll, Verstappen, Tsunoda, Joe, Magnussen, Perez, Théo Pourchaire, De Vries, Hauger, Albon, and Logan Sargent. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We'll soon find out.
Okay, we've got that relief of having points on the board finally, so let's keep that form up and get
Alright, so we are on the formation lap for the sprint race, and as you can see we have picked the medium
let's get the car temperature on this lap, please.
tire for this sprint, meaning we'll have better pace at the end. That's at least that's what I'm hoping for, because as you can see a lot of the other drivers have picked the soft compound tire for this sprint race, but other than Bottas, who is in 4th. How did he get to 4th place? I just realized that this Alfa Romeo has pulled the comeback of the century, as they just anyway, it doesn't matter. I don't know. We are looking to get a very good parking, cutting off Hamilton,
Decent parking. Let's try and
who's
get a good watch as the lights go
alongside
out.
us.
Keep an eye on the lights. The start sequence will begin as soon as the grid is formed. Be ready with
Okay,
clutch.
Hamilton, who is alongside us. So as you can see, we're pointing in his general direction as we are getting ready to race. On the 5 red lights, and away we go as George Russell from third position gets a very good start and is already alongside his teammate as we drop down to third place. Poor start from us, but it is to be expected as we are on the less grippier compound of tires, as Lando Norris is having a look on Valtteri Bottas, who's in fourth place right behind this, also on the medium tire. We look like that we have not what? Wait, that doesn't even make literal sense. It doesn't look like we have warmed up our tires properly, as we are slipping and sliding everywhere, and we have lost a lot of time compared to the two Mercedes who are ahead of us. Again, we go wide over there, a bit of understeer, but look at that. Yuki Tsunoda, very amazing race start. I believe he started in P14, and if you look at the left side of your screens, he is in P9. We're gonna get a replay hopefully very soon. I can see that we're gonna get a replay. Yes, a replay of Yuki's race start as he makes his way past Lance Stroll, Verstappen, Piastri, and also Esteban Ocon, who is now going alongside him down into turn 1, and he makes it through on that Alpine and slots into P9. A very, very nice race start from him. He can definitely get a point in this sprint if he manages to overtake the Ferraris that are ahead of him. One of the two Ferraris. I'm not 100% sure who that Ferrari is that is ahead of my teammate Yuki Tsunoda, but lap 4 now, barely anything left in our battery as we are gonna look to make a move on Lewis Hamilton down into turn 1 as we make an aggressive move down the inside and take second place away from Lewis Hamilton, and that enables us to now chase down his teammate Lance Russell, George Russell, and it looks like the soft compound tires are starting to go off now. They're starting to lose their maximum performance, as we are gonna be able to now have a go at George Russell going into turn 1 maybe, but it doesn't look like we're gonna make a move down into turn 1 as we are too far behind. That did not stop us from overtaking Lewis Hamilton though. I don't know what I was thinking there. I went from like the craziest dive bomb into turn 1 on Lewis. Anyway, it doesn't matter now. We have George Russell within our DRS range. We take the inside line, shove. Yeah, we just like try to avoid contact there. Russell saw us in his wing mirrors and just yielded the position for some reason, and now we are now ahead of Russell as we start our final. Thank you. Our final lap of the sprint, and we are at the front of the field with George Russell looking to try and overtake us to take the lead of this sprint, but it doesn't seem that he had enough space between himself. Well, no, it was supposed to be less space for him to be able to overtake us. But nah, he didn't have that small gap to be able to close in and overtake us going into turn 4, and we're gonna go now round to the end at the front of the field. A pretty decent strategy, I would say, for this sprint race, as we went on the harder tire. It gives us the disadvantage on the beginning, but an advantage at the end, as we're gonna cross the line to take the sprint victory here in Interlagos. George Russell behind us and Hamilton in third place. Pretty decent.
Yes, and that's a podium. Excellent drive.
Not any
The whole
podium, my
team
friend.
have worked
We
especially hard
we
this
came
weekend,
number one.
and that, my friend, is a fantastic reward. Well done.
And now let's take a look at the driver's standings. Our championship leader is still sat at the top of the standings, but their rivals have made up some solid ground today. With the sprint wrapped up, we now have our grid line up for the big race tomorrow. Be sure to join us then for what will no doubt be a fantastic race. Formula One returns to Interlagos once again, with the stage set for what promises to be another classic Sao Paulo Grand Prix. Sebastian Vettel famously clinched his third championship here in 2012, and just 4 years later, Max Verstappen treated us to one of the finest wet weather drives of all time. We're racing today then at Interlagos, a historic 2.7 mile circuit and one of the few anti-clockwise tracks on the calendar. 15 corners in total, 9 to the left and 6 to the right, with a technical middle section opening up to a flat-out Sector 3. That gives us our best passing opportunity down into Turn 1. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. It's the owner-driver then in pole position. And starting next to them is George Russell. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Hamilton, Fernando Alonso, Leclerc, Sainz, Tsunoda, Ocon, Stroll, Gasly, Bottas, Oscar Piastri, Magnussen, Norris, Joe, Verstappen, Teo Pourchaire, Perez, Albon, Hauger, De Vries and Logan Sargent. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today.
Okay, mate, only 3 races left, and you've still got a chance at the title, but if we're going to win it, we're going to need some very special performances in every one of those 3, and it starts here. Let's see what you can do today.
All right. Race day, formation lap, and an interesting thing that our race engineer has just told us a couple of seconds ago about us being still in the championship race somehow. I don't know how that's possible, since we are currently 9th in the championship, and the only way I could possibly win the championship is that if Hamilton and Russell are disqualified from all the next races, while I win the next few races as well. So yeah, basically it's impossible to be running for drivers champion.
Okay, good parking there, mate. Now we need to
So
make sure
I
we get
guess,
great
I don't
launch
know,
as the race starts.
games being
Okay,
games,
so
a
that's
bit
the rest of the
buggy,
grid forming up now. Be patient and
but
watch
we're
for
gonna
those
be
lights.
waiting for the 5 red lights to come on, as we have 5 red lights for the race, the Sunday race. George Russell alongside us. It's lights out and away we go, as we get a very good start this time compared to the sprint, as George Russell is alongside us, but we have the outside line and we stay in first place as we get a very decent start. Alonso makes his way up into 3rd position and overtakes Hamilton, who drops down to 4th, as our teammate makes his way up into 6th place from 8th on the grid. So already a very good start for our team, as I'm in the lead of the race and our teammate is in a very good point scoring position of 6th, as we turn into this corner over here, which I had issues with in the sprint, if you recall on the first lap as we understeered over there. As you can see, the grip from the soft tires enabled us to hit the apex as we should have in the previous race, in the sprint race. As George Russell is now looking for a move around the outside, we give him a squeeze, making it making it hard for him to overtake us. We gave him a car's length. That a car's width, not a car's length, a car's width of space. Um, okay. I just wanted to stay quiet so you can hear what our race engineer had to say about Yuki, as we skip straight into lap 11, as we just basically maintain the lead for the entirety of the race up till now. Alonso is a second and a half behind us, so he's not even in the DRS range, as we have Hamilton, Alonso and Leclerc pitting, as well as our teammate in the pit lane. I really need to improve my ability to commentate on stuff. But anyway, we were also told to box that lap. So boxing lap 12, we have, I believe that's... Who is that? It's George Russell, who's currently behind us, also looking to get his car serviced, as well as a Lance Stroll. But we are off into the race once again, and Perez is the driver who has still not pitted. We bang our tires onto the wall over there on the pit exit, as we cause a little bit of damage over there. As you can see, the front right and the rear right are both slightly damaged. They got some wear, quote unquote wear. It's not really wear, it's just the damage from hitting the wall. But I technically passed that, I crossed that start finish line ahead of Perez, meaning I've led every lap so far. Technically, I don't know, you guys be the judge of that. And tell me if I have led every lap of this race, because I believe that I, at the moment, is on my way. I don't know how to say it, but I am on my way to achieving a Grand Slam finish, as I have scored maximum points in a race, led every lap, and yeah, got the fastest lap of the race. So that's maximum points, 26 points, led every lap. And wait, wasn't there? I started on pole position. Yes, there we go. Yeah, I started on pole position, led every lap, and I currently have the fastest lap of the race. So me crossing the start finish line before Perez means that I have led every lap of this race so far, and hopefully it stays that way, as it doesn't seem that I'll be safe from any attacks, as we have Fernando Alonso in his Aston Martin right behind us. Aston Martin, very good car they've developed this season, as it's very quick. It actually, I think, is the fastest car on the grid in terms of performance. Obviously, we have Lance Stroll in the other seat, so they're not really capable of doing much. But yeah, we were asking about the weather, as it looks very cloudy, very rainy type weather, in my opinion. And I have the right to ask for the weather situation, as we have Alonso, who's very close behind. We go for a defensive line, but Alonso seems to have overtaken us down the inside. You can't really see it, but he has overtaken us going into turn 4. and that means if Alonso crosses the line in the lead of the race, that takes away our Grand Slam finish. But we had other thoughts as we make a move down the inside over there and regain our position at the front of the pack. And lap 19, Alonso still on our gearbox. I think that was also lap 19, the one where Alonso overtook us. Was it? Oh, it was lap 18, wasn't it? It doesn't matter. I'm not really. I don't. Sometimes I don't pay attention to that. But yeah, Alonso now. I'm gonna make a move. Is it before the line? Yes, it wasn't before the line. Okay, so we were in the lead of the race before he overtook us. As Alonso attempts to make a switchback move, but backs out of that, and we somehow get DRS. I think there was a second where Alonso was ahead of us going down the San Asses where the detection point was, and that gives us a very good lead towards the final stretch of the race, as now Alonso is once again, sorry about that, so once again in DRS range of us, if that makes any sense. Again, I'm not making a lot of sense today, but yeah, he's within our DRS range, but doesn't manage to overtake as we drain the battery going down the straight, and we are still draining the battery. Did I forget it on? No, we're not. Okay, so yeah, we are in the lead of the race going round sector 2. Alonso still keeping close, still keeping us company. He has given us a very hard race after the pit stops, as he was the closest person to disrupt any chance of victory today here in Brazil, as we are gonna now round the final corner to take victory in Brazil. We win the Brazilian Grand Prix. Alonso comes in second place. Hamilton finishes off in third. And a very beautiful race from us. I mean, not really that you haven't really seen much, but Alonso, driver of the day. I mean, he gave us a very tough race, if I'm being honest. And yeah, that was a very nice race. Good haul of points.
A great race then, very much as we've come to expect, and a fantastic victory here at Interlagos. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Welcome then to the podium, our top 3 drivers. What a great effort from them today in a very difficult race. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. It's a great result for Lewis Hamilton, who moves further ahead at the top of the table. Some amazing talent out on the track today, but Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day? Let's move on to the constructors. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. There was also a strong showing from the McLaren team today as they make their way up the standings. Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Thank you guys so much for watching this episode. If you liked it, please leave a like and subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram if you haven't done so already. I'll put it up on the top right of your screen right now. And yeah, have a nice day.